Today I'm doing a review on the album Hate Me by Escape the Fate that comes out on October 30th, 2015. And I'm a huge fan of Escape the Fate. I saw them live in 2013. I thought, they're awesome. I saw them live at Warped Tour 2015, and um, I thought they were good each time, not disappointing. Most of their music's pretty good. Some of it can get a little tedious and boring, but for the most part, I like Escape the Fate. Um, I went into this album. Before I start this album, this review is actually going to be more negative than positive because this album is not what I expected. This is not what I wanted. But anyway, so I was initially very excited about listening to this album. I was very, very excited because Escape the Fate is actually one of my top bands that I really like, and yeah, it was a disappointment. And this is my opinion. I'm sorry if you don't agree with my opinion, but this is my video. So, alright, I'll get started. I'm going to do it by song by song, and then I will do a review on the album as in its entirety. So, this album started off with Just a Memory, and that was a really good track to start off the album. It really set the album up only to get better. It was a good start. It was the first single on the album, and the sweep picking at the beginning was spot on. Had really awesome drums and vocals. The vocals were, perfect. The lyrics and the chorus was very catchy. The lyrics were good throughout the song. I didn't like the theme of this song. The lyrics were good, but this song was written about the old guitarist Monty Money. I don't know the specifics, but I just know that he ripped him off or something. And, it's cool to be pissed at someone for a while, but he did this back, I don't know, more than, probably, over 3 years ago. And it's like, come on, move on. I like Monty Money. He's a great guitar player. Just leave him alone, he's not bothering you. So I didn't like that aspect of the song. But when it slowed down before, the solo, oh my god, the solo was perfect. This is actually one of the best tracks on the whole album. Solo was really good, and it ends with the intro, the amazing, little piano or whatever the fuck it was. It was really, really cool. And then I transitioned into Live for Today. It had a good intro with the electronics. That's another thing. I usually don't really like electronics, but this was actually pretty good. The drums were really good, and the beat was really cool. It was interesting. It's something Escape the Fate has never done. It's I liked it. It didn't sound like traditional Escape the Fate, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Maybe they're bringing something new to the table. The effect on the vocals, the way they auto-tuned it, or whatever, I didn't care for it at all. I thought it was a little dumb. They do that throughout the album, though. The chorus is really boring, not catchy, and it sounded way too much like a pop song, and that's a reoccurring theme throughout the album. But it was still interesting. But overall, if Escape the Fate keeps this up, don't like it. The lyrics, they were stupid. Okay, now Remember Every Scar. The rhythm at the beginning and the drums perfect. I'm a guitar player, and that's something that really stood out to me, especially for a single, and especially since the song was so soft. It was overall good sound. The lyrics were great. There were too much effects on the voice, actually, but that's one negative thing. But whatever, I'm not going to nitpick it. It was very catchy. It was really good for being a single, but it's a single, you can't really expand musically on a single, so it was kind of flat instrumentally, but overall it was actually Just a Memory is one of the best songs in the album. Next is Breaking Me Down. Intro, it sounded like a Bring the Horizon song, especially off the new album, That's the Spirit, which is down below. I'll leave in the link down below where I reviewed That's the Spirit. There were way too many electronics. It sounded like a song on the radio. It sounded like shit that, you know, Escape the Fate just needed to leave alone. It was very boring. The lyrics were good. It was overproduced, way too many effects on the instruments, the vocals, and the solo was flat. It's like if you're gonna do a solo, you know, do something really, really like whoa, like mind blowing. But I just didn't like it. Alive, after listening to most of the songs on this album, besides Just a Memory, you know, like the past three songs are really soft. But finally, Alive had a little bit of balls to it. I didn't like this song initially, but after listening to the full album, it's one of the standout songs on the album. It should have been a single, but oh well. Let's see. It had good guitar licks throughout the song. The lyrics were stupid. It was too formulated. The way that they set up, like, the song structure was way too overused. The chorus was, oh my god, the chorus sucked ass. And, you know, even if it is one of the best songs on the album, I still don't like it very much. And, it had a really, really good, the standout of this song is the guitar solo. Very, very cool spot on guitar solo. And it sounded like Monty Money a lot, actually, so it was like almost like a throwback solo. So the solo is the spotlight of this song, and although I didn't like this song, it's one of the best songs on the album. Get Up, Get Out, the intro was really, really cool. I like the intro a lot. Kind of reminded me of Marilyn Manson style, like some of his newer stuff, like off of The Pale Emperor. The chorus was really, really bad. The lyrics were stupid. The song really had potential, but they just blew it once again. It was bad. I didn't like it. The screaming was good, finally. I mean, I know, you know, bands are trying to progress and stuff and not add as much screaming, but a little bit more than this album had would have been good. But the screaming was finally good. But it wasn't enough to save this album, this one song, and the song structure, which is also a reoccurring thing that I complain about. The song structure was horrible for this song. Hate Me. I had much anticipation for the song because the title track, you know, the title track is always like, whoa, like you're always blown away by it, but like all these songs had electronic introductions to it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is boring. And I wrote this song in all caps. I was like, this song sucks. Yeah, I was like, oh god, this song sucks. The lyrics were stupid. It was too slow. It was boring. And then, like, towards the end, I was listening to it, and it was like the third time the chorus went around, and I actually liked it. So, I actually like this song. This is a good song, so it's not bad. And then Les Enfants Talibs, one of the singles, finally had some screaming that I wanted throughout this whole fucking album. Oh my god, this song was, I would go as far as say this is probably the best song on this album, actually. I like that it's in French. I speak a little bit of French. I don't like the effects on the vocals. It had an awesome chorus, though. Still too many electronics. And then I wrote down some lyrics. It says, "Death before dishonor, I will die before I falter." I was like, that's pretty cool. I could see that being on a t-shirt or something. And the solo is almost like a Jackie Vincent solo, and from Falling in Reverse, the guitar player from Falling in Reverse. And I just thought this was a really, really good song. I Won't Break. I wrote down the intro was fucking revolting. Way too many electronics. It was boring. Put me to sleep. Had way too much like Skrillex dubstep shit. And then the breakdown. Oh my god, the breakdown. I remember it was a direct ripoff of House of Wolves by Bring Me the Horizon. Bring Me the Horizon. But yeah, listen to that and listen to the intro to House of Wolves. Complete ripoff. Okay, Let Me Be. I liked that it was acoustic, and I was like, finally a song that doesn't put me to sleep, has good lyrics, you know, it's very, very good. I love this song. But it's not Escape the Fate. Sounds like something like One Direction would release, or like, you know, some hipster ass band would release. And I'm like, why the fuck would Escape the Fate do this? They're trying to do something like the song something. It's funny. They're trying to do like almost a remake throughout this whole album. Their song Something that was actually very good. They're trying to do something like that, and I was just like, leave it alone. Just do something rock at least, you know? It actually had a really good guitar solo I wrote though. And okay, so now we're gonna move on to Redline. I was immediately bored. By this time in the album, I didn't want to listen to it anymore. I was bored with this album. The lyrics were retarded, unnecessary breakdown and screaming. It didn't belong in this song. Unnecessary guitar solo. It didn't need the breakdown, screaming, or guitar solo. It was just, and they had like stuff about driving down the Sunset Strip or something, like pedal to the metal, driving a car or something. I'm like, God, you're not fucking Motley Crue, shit. So I was like, just leave that shit alone. And then the last song, Into the World, the intro was kind of cool, but immediately I was like, boring. The solo sounds like the Just a Memory solo. This song, Redline and Into the World, the last two songs, besides the bonus tracks, which I think actually Into the World is a bonus track. But anyway, those songs sucked. Overall, yeah, I'm going to do the overall review now. So, thank you. Hey, I'm back. This is going to be the full album review, the overall review. I'm going to give it a rating out of 10. I'm going to try to be as nice as I can about this album, because honestly, I thought this album was actually the worst album of it. I wouldn't say that, because there's some really bad albums that I've heard, but this is actually one on my list of one of the worst albums I've ever heard. So I wrote it. That is the whole review. I'll try to get through it as quick as I can. The album Hate Me had 3 singles. They were Just a Memory, Remember Every Scar, and Les Enfants Terribles. These were all great songs, and they really, hyped up the album. I was like, yes, Escape the Fate is back. It's been like 10 years since they released an album. Like, not a good album, just an album. But it was like almost 3 years. But I was really excited from these 3 things, because they were, they picked the most rock-oriented songs off the album as singles. It set the album up for success. The album started off with Just a Memory, and like I said when I was reviewing that song, it really was like, okay, this is what this album's going to be like. That's not what that album, it was nothing like Just a Memory. Alright. After Just a Memory, though, besides the singles, that's when, immediately the shitstorm started. From track 2, besides the singles on, pretty much every song was complete shit. Yeah, almost every song started off with a stupid electronic introduction, put me to sleep every time. I personally don't like electronics. That's my personal view, but when you do it every song, even people that like it are like, that really think about it are like, come on, do something original. The lyrics throughout the album, except for the singles, the singles had good lyrics, but otherwise, cliche, boring, radio-friendly bullshit, unnecessary. They would say unnecessarily say fuck out of nowhere, fuck you or something. I don't have any examples, but it was stupid. The whole album did not sound like Escape the Fate at all. And I wrote down that some bands like Bring the Horizon recently did with That's the Spirit. They changed genres, but Bring Me the Horizon, their album was interesting from start to finish. The singles were boring just because we heard them so much, before the actual album came out, but otherwise the whole album was phenomenal. I would have given it like a 9. I think I gave it about an 8 or 9. But especially after, you know, listening to it over and over again, but this was a joke. They tried to switch genres. You know, I guess you can only sell out of its success. This album, if it was up to me, would not be a success. This is a horrible album. This is one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life. It was a joke. They tried to switch genres once again, and it was a joke. They tried, you know, it was not them. You could tell right away off the bat. This is not Escape the Fate. Usually I wrote down by the time the album comes around, like I said with That's the Spirit by Bring the Horizon, you know, you get sick of the singles, and you're like, okay, I want to hear the rest of the album I've been so desperately wanting to hear for, you know, the past 2 or 3 months. And then I listen to them and I'm like, I kind of don't even want to listen to the singles. That's how bad the album was. It was really bad. I could barely get through 3/4 of the album, like 3/4 of the album, and I can't even get through it. That's like, I got to probably around between song 6 or 8, right in that, you know, general, like a little bit over halfway mark, and I was like, I can't wait till this ends. And I know people aren't going to listen from like when the album starts from start to finish. This is a bad album. I suggest you not listen to this song from start to finish. And I'm not hating on it because it doesn't sound like the Escape the Fate that I wanted, because that's how I feel about other bands. You know, everyone's defensive of their band. They're like, they sold out, they don't sound like I wanted them to sound. That's true, they don't sound like I wanted the album to sound, but, you know, it's not my album, it's their choice, and they chose to make a really shitty album. The song structure was horrible, the lyrics were god-awful throughout the whole fucking album, except for the singles, like I said. And it was just, so I'm not hating on them because it's different, it's just really, really bad. Everything about the album was bad. This fucked Escape the Fate, and, you know, they're old now, take that with a grain of salt. They're like 30 or something by now. You know, if they're not gonna make a, you know, comeback album, it's kind of too late by now. I mean, in my opinion, this album bombed, but if this album bombs with everyone else, they're done. They'll go bankrupt for the, like, 11th time. I think they tried to be like Bring Me the Horizon and do some mainstream shit, you know. It just didn't work out for them. They don't know how to write a song. And then, they did songs like, Let Me Be. You can tell right away that's not Escape the Fate. You know, they could say, well, that's the kind of music we listen to now. It's like, you can listen to whatever you want. That's not a good song. Or it's a good song, it's just not a good song for Escape the Fate. Like I said in the previous part of the review, they tried to write songs like their song Something from their I don't know which album it's from, but they tried to write it like that, I think. And they just failed miserably. And it blew up in their face. And I wanted this album to end. As soon as I got, you know, about a little past halfway, I was like, dude, I couldn't even, you know, I usually listen to the album a couple times just to get a really good understanding of the album, so I don't, you know, so I have a good review for it. I couldn't even get through it twice. I tried to listen to it for a second time, and it was just too bad that I couldn't listen to it. Yeah, it went from boring, like the first 5 or 6 tracks, just, this album's kind of boring to, just after that it was dog shit. This is like, I actually almost pre-ordered it, but I canceled my pre-order. That's how bad the album was. Yeah, it was bad. Overall, I would give this album, and I hate to say this, but, and I try to give it more credit than it needs, I would try to give this album at most a 3 out of 10. I can't even get it that. I would give it about a 1.5 to 2 out of 10. This is a really bad album. Not because this isn't what I wanted, because it's not what I wanted, but because this is not Escape the Fate. This is fake Escape the Fate. The songs are somewhat decent, some of them, but most of the songs are really poorly written, have really shitty lyrics, and are nothing. Escape the Fate, you failed. See ya.